We give you the opportunity and resources you need to turn your content into reality. We offer memberships with access to equipment and use of our in-studio setup to allow you to get your message across in a professional manner. Or if you simply have the desire to gain hands-on experience in the field of digital media, you can become a volunteer at Milford TV, where we teach essential skills and tools that allow our members to create and tell their stories. From studio interviews, to sports coverage, to field shows, we provide the community the chance to stay informed and get involved. If you're a local company looking for an opportunity to promote your business, consider becoming a sponsor of Milford TV. We offer several sponsorship options for local business visibility during our sports broadcast as well as other areas. Whether you hope to inspire others, highlight issues you're passionate about, or would like to learn more and participate in the production process, Milford TV is the perfect place to start. Call or visit us at milfordtv.net for information on how to become a member or volunteer, and see why now is the time to join the Milford TV family. Come on over so you can be part of the action. Interested in bringing your ideas to life? Here at Milford TV, we give you the opportunity and resources you need to turn your content into reality. We offer memberships with access to equipment and use of our in-studio setup to allow you to get your message across in a professional manner. Or if you simply have the desire to gain hands-on experience in the field of digital media, you can become a volunteer at Milford TV, where we teach essential skills and tools that allow our members to create and tell their stories. From studio interviews, to sports coverage, to field shows, we provide the community the chance to stay informed and get involved. If you're a local company looking for an opportunity to promote your business, consider becoming a sponsor of Milford TV. We offer several sponsorship options for local business visibility during our sports broadcast as well as other areas. Whether you hope to inspire others, highlight issues you're passionate about, or would like to learn more and participate in the production process, Milford TV is the perfect place to start. Call or visit us at milfordtv.net for information on how to become a member or volunteer, and see why now is the time to join the Milford TV family. Come on over so you can be part of the action. Interested in bringing your ideas to life? Here at Milford TV, we give you the opportunity and resources you need to turn your content into reality. We offer memberships with access to equipment and use of our in-studio setup to allow you to get your message across in a professional manner. Or if you simply have the desire to gain hands-on experience in the field of digital media, you can become a volunteer at Milford TV, where we teach essential skills and tools that allow our members to create and tell their stories. From studio interviews, to sports coverage, to field shows, we provide the community the chance to stay informed and get involved. If you're a local company looking for an opportunity to promote your business, consider becoming a sponsor of Milford TV. We offer several sponsorship options for local business visibility during our sports broadcast as well as other areas. Whether you hope to inspire others, highlight issues you're passionate about, or would like to learn more and participate in the production process, Milford TV is the perfect place to start. Call or visit us at milfordtv.net for information on how to become a member or volunteer, and see why now is the time to join the Milford TV family. Come on over so you can be part of the action. Interested in bringing your ideas to life? Here at Milford TV, we give you the opportunity and resources you need to turn your content into reality. We offer memberships with access to equipment and use of our in-studio setup to allow you to get your message across in a professional manner. Or if you simply have the desire to gain hands-on experience in the field of digital media, you can become a volunteer at Milford TV, where we teach essential skills and tools that allow our members to create and tell their stories. From studio interviews, to sports coverage, to field shows, we provide the community the chance to stay informed and get involved. If you're a local company looking for an opportunity to promote your business, consider becoming a sponsor of Milford TV. We offer several sponsorship options for local business visibility during our sports broadcast as well as other areas. Whether you hope to inspire others, highlight issues you're passionate about, or would like to learn more and participate in the production process, Milford TV is the perfect place to start. Call or visit us at milfordtv.net for information on how to become a member or volunteer, and see why now is the time to join the Milford TV family. Come on over so you can be part of the action. Interested in bringing your ideas to life? Here at Milford TV, we give you the opportunity and resources you need to turn your content into reality. We offer memberships with access to equipment and use of our in-studio setup to allow you to get your message across in a professional manner. Or if you simply have the desire to gain hands-on experience in the field of digital media, you can become a volunteer at Milford TV, where we teach essential skills and tools that allow our members to create and tell their stories. From studio interviews, to sports coverage, to field shows, we provide the community the chance to stay informed and get involved. If you're a local company looking for an opportunity to promote your business, consider becoming a sponsor of Milford TV. We offer several sponsorship options for local business visibility during our sports broadcast as well as other areas. Whether you hope to inspire others, highlight issues you're passionate about, or would like to learn more and participate in the production process, Milford TV is the perfect place to start. Call or visit us at milfordtv.net for information on how to become a member or volunteer, and see why now is the time to join the Milford TV family. Come on over so you can be part of the action. Interested in bringing your ideas to life? Here at Milford TV, we give you the opportunity and resources you need to turn your content into reality. We offer memberships with access to equipment and use of our in-studio setup to allow you to get your message across in a professional manner. Or if you simply have the desire to gain hands-on experience in the field of digital media, you can become a volunteer at Milford TV, where we teach essential skills and tools that allow our members to create and tell their stories. From studio interviews, to sports coverage, to field shows, we provide the community the chance to stay informed and get involved. If you're a local company looking for an opportunity to promote your business, consider becoming a sponsor of Milford TV. We offer several sponsorship options for local business visibility during our sports broadcast as well as other areas. Whether you hope to inspire others, highlight issues you're passionate about, or would like to learn more and participate in the production process, Milford TV is the perfect place to start. Call or visit us at milfordtv.net for information on how to become a member or volunteer, and see why now is the time to join the Milford TV family. Come on over so you can be part of the action. Coverage of our Scarlet Hawks athletics on Milford TV is brought to you by the following sponsors. Our presenting sponsor, the Rail Trail Flatbread Company, a casual American dining experience with locations in Hudson and on Main Street here in Milford. Rentschler Biopharma, sponsor of our broadcast booth. Rentschler Biopharma transforms innovative ideas into life-saving biopharmaceuticals. Rentschler Biopharma, reliability you can trust.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome inside the turf field here at Milford High School, as Milford TV is happy to bring you coverage of Scarlet Hawks athletics presented by the Rail Trail Flatbread Company. Rail Trail is a casual American dining experience. They specialize in an all-scratch-made kitchen featuring wood-fired flatbreads. Check out their new fall menu, including their delicious pumpkin trifle and more. You can catch them over on Main Street here in Milford or at their Hudson location. Milford TV Executive Director Tim Coet, so happy to be here with you. We begin the first full week of the month of October here with the girls soccer team. And this afternoon, a good battle on tap for the girls as they play host to one of their Kelly Rex Division rivals in the King Philip Warriors. And we bring you all of the action live from our Rentschler Biopharma broadcast booth. Rentschler Biopharma is a global contract development and manufacturing organization specializing in biopharmaceuticals and advanced therapies. Rentschler Biopharma, reliability you can trust. The Scarlet Hawks come into this game today tied for fifth in the Kelly Rex Division standings with a 3-5 record overall. King Philip, meanwhile, tied for first in the Kelly Rex standings. They are 4-2-3 overall on the year. KP, who is used to dominating the Kelly Rex division, used to being one of the top teams in their playoff division, which has flipped this year from Division 1 to Division 2, but KP coming down a bit to the rest of the field of teams in the Kelly Rex, so we'll see how things shake out in this game. An early opportunity from deep on a free kick for KP, and it's sized up well by the starting keeper for Milford. That is Chloe Pierce. That free kick taken by number 9, Ava Quinton, a sophomore for the Warriors. Milford looking to attack from left to right across your screens here in first half action. I think I may have said Chloe Pierce, not Chloe Murdoch. Of course, Chloe Murdoch once again patrolling the net for the Scarlet Hawks in her typical neon coloring for this season. On the other side for KP, it is one of their senior captains, Lauren Obara, in net. And here is Murdoch. She will step in and clean this one up. If you're looking for fall weather to take in a soccer game here in the month of October, you're out of luck for today. It is once again very warm conditions. Continuing to enjoy this extended summer here in New England. Right now, the temperature as we settle in for this game on October the 6th is 80 degrees. So a warm one for these teams as this ball trickles down the far sideline. KP able to knock it out of play off of Kyla Nashawati. This is Milford's first game back at home since the last time we had a chance to cover the team in action. That was back on September 18th in what was a fierce battle for Milford against one of the top teams in the Davenport division in the Canton Bulldogs. Milford went down by 3 goals in that game, but battled back, had a chance to tie late. As this ball comes in, Nashawati streaking on net, but Obara was able to handle it. Milford ended up falling in that game 4-3, but it's really touched off a highly competitive stretch of games for Milford. They haven't all been wins, but Milford has been in all of these contests. They followed up that loss to Canton with a win on the road against Hopedale. They've been very good against non-conference opponents this season. And then in what's been one of the signature games of the season so far, Milford traveling to Mansfield for an evening contest last week on September 30th. Milford did lose the game 2-1, but they really pushed Mansfield to the limit. Mansfield, one of the top teams in the Davenport division, unbeaten on the season. Milford held a lead in that game. They held Mansfield scoreless for the first 57 minutes. And ultimately, Mansfield was just barely able to escape on their home field with a 1-goal margin of victory. And so Milford able to take a lot of positives from that game. They then came out the next time out over the weekend against Whitensville Christian, and they were able to take care of business on the road 4-1, a big offensive day, and another non-conference victory for Milford. So again, 3-5 overall on the season. As Milford will have to defend against a corner kick here, still in the opening 5 minutes of this first half action. And this ball will sail past the far post. KP will track it down off in the corner.
Girl's yours. You're playing a holding mid player. That's how she got behind you.
Goal kick here for the Hawks up the far sideline. Kaylee Turtelot trying to move it along, but KP with a couple of bodies there to take over. And Ella Lefter trying to jump into the play, but this one moved along as KP continues the attack. This ball, a tricky bounce. Pierce gets into position, guarding that near post as the ball slides to the near side of the Milford goal, out of play. And again, a goal kick will have a chance to clear it out as KP comes out aggressive here in this first half action. I'll try to get my Chloe straight here as the half goes along. Chloe Murdoch making the stop. Talia Seri stepping into the play as KP a chance to settle it down. On the move is the captain, Ella McDonald. She fires one in. Off to the near side and out of play, and you can already hear Coach Colabello from the sideline wanting his team to pick up the energy level as KP has really come out strong here on the road. Milford embarking on a very challenging week schedule-wise this week. We'll dig into the details of that as the broadcast goes along. Kira Murphy, a nice job trying to move that ball along for Milford, who's yet to really get an organized attack going through the start of this game. 34 minutes and change on the first half clock. As KP dumps this ball in deep again, and there is Murdoch to make the sure-handed play. Light breeze blowing from left to right here on the playing surface. Not much of a factor as this ball just eludes Nashawati. It's pushed along by the shoulder of Turtelot. And now moving it along here nicely for Nashawati. Gets a good bounce, tries to race into this ball, and an aggressive play for Obara. She slides in to make the stop. Milford sends it in from deep, and Kaylee Turtelot is able to turn it into the first scoring play of the game. And Milford will start off on top 1-0. KP dominating this opening stretch of play. Milford finally gets the ball ahead into their attacking side. It was a great play with a great bounce for Nashawati. Obara aggressively sliding out to try to break up the play, but Turtelot was there ready to pounce, drove it in from about 10 yards out to give Milford the first lead of the game, 1-0. Scarlet Hawks excellent up and down this Milford roster on that goal. Still over 33 minutes to play. As now it's Caitlin Kernan with a header to push this ball down the near sideline. Nashawati, some physicality right in front of her own bench as this ball drifts out. The Hawks will have a chance to toss it back into play. You can feel the energy level lifting now on the field for Milford on the heels of that goal. Milford will dump this ball over to the near sideline. Athletic play for Ava Baglione to keep that ball from going out. And now Juliana Senna able to touch that ball finally back out there. Juliana Senna, such a valuable defensive piece for this team who's been missing since the very beginning of the season with a foot injury. And this is her first game back in action. So Milford getting healthy at just the right time as these games really start to ramp up in intensity. The Hawks had to play a chunk of this season without the services of both Isabella Lacerbo and Juliana Senna defensively, but both players now are back healthy again. Nice job by Kernan again to push the action forward. Now back across the middle of the field. Lefter able to close in. Now Baglione trying to get into the play from behind, but it's cleared out for the moment by Claire Astorino, a sophomore for the Warriors. Now just out of the reach of the goal scorer, Kaylee Turtelot, along the far sideline. And out of play now. Lacerbo lobbying for the toss-in, but it's KP who tosses it in. No one quite ready for it. The ball's still in a dangerous spot on the field for Milford as this shot comes in, and it's a tied game just like that. It was a breakdown originally on both sides as that toss-in came so quickly it didn't seem like either side was ready for it. But eventually KP able to get settled inside the box, and you cannot allow the Warriors that good of a look. Senna couldn't get the clear, and it led to the opportunity presenting itself for number 16. That was Donnell Balunos, one of the captains, a junior. So that erases the early Milford lead. Tied up now at 1. And now Milford struggling to regain control over the middle. KP now with a feed forward looking for number 24. That's Chase Bright. As this ball will dribble in, a little bit of a bobble for Murdoch, but she hangs on. So that lead only lasting about 2.5 minutes for Milford before KP was able to find the answer. And now tied as we move forward here, just about 11 minutes in to this first half action. Here's Kernan, nice ball finding Nashawati with a lot of open field. She finds Turtelot on the outside. She fires it in and it's just wide. Another good connection between Nashawati and Kaylee Turtelot, who was looking for her second goal of the game. The goal scored earlier by Kaylee was her first of the season, Milford's 23rd goal overall on the year. This KP team advancing all the way to the Division I round of 8 a season ago. A team that scored over 70 goals in the regular season last year, but graduated a lot of that scoring punch, graduated all of their top defenders as well. So this has been a big transition year for this program that, again, has become so accustomed to a high level of success. But so far, despite a retooling on the roster, they've been able to keep themselves up towards the top of the standings, which are very jam-packed right now at the top. We'll give you the full landscape of the Kelly Rex Division standings at the next stoppage in play. Meanwhile, there's 28 minutes and 12 seconds to go in this first half as Ava Baglione tries to settle that ball down amid a trio of defenders. Caitlin Kernan also coming flying in. She takes a tumble to the turf as that ball goes out of play. And another fast toss in here for King Philip. So Milford really going to need to monitor that as this game goes on. Caught them a bit vulnerable a moment ago that led to the game-tying goal. Milford trying to get numbers back. This ball is going to leak all the way back to the keeper where Murdoch is able to pick it up all alone. Fans continuing to file in here to catch this varsity girls soccer action. Again, a beautiful day for it. Not a cloud in the sky overhead. As Nashawati's able to pick up this ball on the move, gets bumped off, and now we'll send it over the middle to Anella Lefter. She will fire one in to Testo Barra in net, but up to the task as that ball did not have a ton on it. We saw Anella Lefter score the first goal of her varsity career the last time out here at home against Canton And that's gotten the freshman on a little bit of a roll. She now has 3 goals to go along with 8 assists on the season so far. So outstanding numbers for the freshman phenom. Talia Seri working hard as this ball comes over towards the KP bench. It drifts out of play, and Caitlin Kernan now with a quick toss in. She's going to fire this ball a long way up the near sideline, out of the reach of Ava. And now it's Lacerbo and Juliana Senna who take care of business on the back end. Soft pass, Seri over trying to intercept. Now it's Senna popping this ball high in the air, left her and Baglione there, and now this ball knocked just out of Nashawati's reach by Belichecco for KP. And a little bit of a shove over on the far side, a little too much contact there from Lefter. 25 minutes and 52 seconds on the first half clock, each team with a goal. We want to welcome in all of our viewers checking out the coverage here this afternoon. Got a large section on our YouTube live stream checking out the game as that ball came in quickly towards the Milford goal, and Chloe Murdoch was able to settle things down. So again, a welcome into all of our live viewers this afternoon. If you're tuned into us locally on our Milford TV educational channel, our Verizon HD channel, or you are part of our audience over on our YouTube live stream, happy to have you joining us for this girls soccer action. Already an exciting one. Kaylee Turtelot and Donnell Balunos, the goals so far on each side. This ball deflecting off the legs of Baglione over towards midfield and out of play. And it'll be another toss in for Caitlin Kernan. And now that ball angled towards the middle by Seri, but out of the reach of Kyla. And now Kira Murphy will test over on the far side of the field. And that pass did not have much on it, did not get towards Lefter, and KP able to pick it off. And now a foot race to the corner for Juliana Senna, one-on-one against the junior captain Ella McDonald. McDonald, one of the only impact scorers that returned to this KP team from last season's playoff contender, had, I believe, 10 goals in her season last year as a sophomore. Out of the reach of Kernan, now jumps back into the play. Along the near sideline, good footwork for the Warriors. And now this ball pushed into the box. Milford with numbers there. They can't get the full clear. And now this ball will trickle well wide of the net. Murdoch keeps it on the playing surface. And we'll wait to send this ball along. So after an exchange of goals within the first 8+ minutes of this first half, things slowing down at least for the moment as this ball takes an awkward hop off the defense, but Murdoch moves her way out to the edge of the box and again is able to sure-handedly make the play. As we mentioned, Chloe Murdoch was without a doubt one of the highlights of that game against the Mansfield Hornets. Made double-digit saves against a very potent offensive attack. Kira Murphy nearly stealing that ball, but it deflects off her foot and rolls out of play over on the far sideline. Another day where there's action on the track as soccer continues, so everyone needing to stay aware as the balls come off the playing surface. KP pushes this ball in. It gets off the hands of Murdoch, and that rebound chance turns into a goal as Ava Quinton was there to pounce. Murdoch was able to make the initial stop, but just could not hold on. And as that ball leaked out, Quinton was able to push it into the back of the net to give the Warriors a 2-1 lead. Quinton losing her footing, but still able to send that ball on target with enough on it to get the goal. So 21 minutes and 51 seconds to go. And KP now with 2 unanswered goals to take their first lead in this match. And so the energy that was very palpable for the Scarlet Hawks early in this half now starting to dissipate as KP has settled things down after the early Milford goal. They've scored 2 of their own to take the lead. So Milford needing to regroup. Just about midway through this first half action now as KP goes on the attack again. This ball gathered in by Juliana Senna, pushed upfield, but well out of any of her teammates' reach. The whistle going against the Warriors. Italia to take the kick. Moved along nicely by Caitlin Kernan, and a quick shot taken by Nashawati that drifts up over the net. Kyla coming into this week tied for 4th in the Hockomock League in goal scoring. She's the top goal scorer in this Milford offense. 10 goals to go along with 4 assists. Carves this ball across the middle as Ava Baglione was charging in, but KP able to clear it out. Now Lacerbo moves it up the near sideline, but again KP is able to force the action back onto their attacking side. Lacerbo trying to slow things down, but here goes Quinton again, and she will blast this ball well to the far side of the Milford goal and out of play. Decent amount of underclassmen on the roster for KP this season, as you would expect after losing a very sizable senior class from last year's team. And those underclassmen ranks include several freshmen: Chase Bright, Avery Hebert, and Emily Silva, all freshmen. The Warriors under the direction of head coach Gary Pitchell. Bill Wallace, an assistant coach on this KP team. We've seen Coach Wallace in action in the Hockomock League elsewhere, including coaching for the North Attleboro softball program. So some good experienced coaches on this KP staff. "17 minutes and 51 seconds to go as KP takes this ball down towards the corner, goes out of play off of Talia Seri, and so we'll see the second corner kick of the half for the Warriors. It looks to be the most recent goal scorer, Ava Quinton, who will take the kick over on the far side. driven by the header, but over towards the near corner. Milford has a chance to move it out. Lefter using her speed to carry this ball all the way up the near sideline. Now able to avoid a couple of defenders, takes it all the way to the corner, tries to center this ball up. Had Nashawati, but instead it is Obara who was able to dive in to break up that connection. But there again is the speed and athleticism of the freshman. And Ella Lefter creating a scoring opportunity all alone. Now Turtelot will let this ball drift up the far sideline, excuse me. Sent back towards the middle. Sabrina Soares fighting there for the Scarlet Hawks, and you got to give a lot of credit to Sabrina Soares and the other defenders on this Milford team who had to step up into big roles in the absence of Isabella Lacerbo and Juliana Senna, working hard to keep this team competitive and keep them within playoff position, which is exactly where Milford is coming into this week. Right now, 29th in the Division II power rankings. You got to be inside the top 32 to qualify, so if the playoffs were to start today, Milford would be in. Looking to hold on to that positioning or try to move up as the second half of the season continues on. That ball took a hard ricochet right in the face of Kernan, and she is in some pain as she is crouched right over at the near sideline as a shot comes in towards Chloe Murdoch. She's able to make the stop, and right now Kernan trying to get herself together on the near sideline, and Milford will call a timeout, stopping the clock with exactly 15 minutes to go. That ball looked to get Caitlin flush in the face. And so she is getting attended to by the training staff for Milford here. So it looks like Coach Colabello will take the opportunity to call a full timeout here as the entire team comes over to the sideline. And so we certainly hope Caitlin is okay as she will come off. And no, it doesn't appear that we'll have a full timeout as the officials call Milford back out onto the field. KP had remained on the field. And so Kernan right now seated on the bench, and a big loss for this team for now. You certainly hope that Caitlin will be okay and can hopefully get back into this game. But in the meantime, 15 minutes to go in the first half as Murdoch now releases the goal kick. Murphy fighting right at the center logo, but KP able to get settled down. Now Senna tries to step into the play, but KP still on the attack. Senna now rejoins the defense, gets physical against Ella McDonald as this ball gets knocked down, and Lacerbo able to clear it out. Baglione waiting to move it along, just out of the reach of Kyla, but Baglione tracks it to the far sideline. And now this ball takes a roll right to the edge of the field of play, now goes out. Toss in for the Scarlet Hawks. KP pops this over in the direction of the keeper, and apparently that went out off of Milford, so we'll get a goal kick here for Lauren Obara. She brings a lot of experience in net for King Philip, senior. Been part of some deep playoff runs and has been a key cog in this KP defensive system that has been so stingy with goals allowed in years past. A program that has been so fundamentally sound over the years, so dangerous. And that is very clear when you look at how the head-to-head matchups have gone between Milford and King Philip over the years. We'll share some of those results for you a little bit later on, as Lefter here has Nashawati just to her left. This ball can't be controlled by Kyla. Dips back towards Ava Baglione. She will fire this all the way in on net, where Obara is able to make the stop. Just 12 minutes and 40 seconds to go now in the first half. Milford scoring the first goal in this half. KP has scored the last two to take a 2-1 advantage. More hard work from Kira Murphy on the sideline. Milford with the toss back in. Back out of play now for the KP toss. Milford having to quickly clear that ball out. Good pass finds Baglione. She turns around, fires it upfield, but again, could not quite connect with Kyla. And now over along the near sideline, where Lacerbo now gets into the action. Lefter. A nice teamwork along with Amelia Maloney to move this ball upfield, but Obara now able to fire it back out across the middle. Up ahead now, KP finds Ella McDonald. McDonald keeps it low to the ground, and sprawling out is Chloe Murdoch to make the save. This time she does not allow any rebound opportunities. Just past Lefter's reach, but now jumps back into the play, nearly able to gain control. This ball goes out of play, though, off of King Philip, and so Lefter instead will give way to Caitlin Kernan, who will return to action. Be hard-pressed to find a tougher athlete in all of Milford High School than Caitlin Kernan, so not at all a surprise to see her able to get right back into action. Still just as physical as ever, and a little bit too much so that time as she gets the whistle. KP drives this ball upfield now with just about 9 minutes and 40 seconds to go in the half. Lacerbo racing after this ball, but it goes out just shy of the near corner. And Milford able to toss it back in. Great work again here this afternoon by the youth athletes here in Milford, taking care of all of the stray balls on the sidelines. KP now with the toss. And immediately stolen by Lefter. Talia Seri has that pass deflected. Baglione gets bumped off the ball, and now KP gathers back in through the midfield. A soft pass, Sabrina Soares challenging. And out of play. Baglione across the middle and dumped back in by the Warriors. Lacerbo able to get back, and offsides is called on KP. So just to give you a quick sense of how jammed the top of the Kelly Rex division standings are, right now it is currently a 4-team tie for first place in those Kelly Rex standings. As Nashawati now tries to get herself free for a centering pass. Has left her to provide some support, and now KP pushes this ball out. So right now it is Attleboro, Franklin, KP, and Sharon all sharing first place in the Kelly Rex, all with 8 points in league play. Attleboro with the most points overall on the season with 14. Now with 7.5 minutes to go, Nashawati tosses out of the reach of Lefter and knocked out of play a little casually by KP to give Milford their first corner kick chance of the match. Lefter will line up in the near corner. Very little breeze to contend with right now. And Lefter sends this past the far post. Soares is there in the corner to try to dump it back in. Nashawati trying to hack away. And KP now racing to pick up this ball in the corner, and they'll send it out of play. Milford will have a chance to toss it back in. It'll be Kaylee Turtelot. Long toss, bounces around. Milford will drive it too strong across to the near side of the field. It goes out of play, and KP now will have a chance to clean it out. So Milford challenging there, but nothing comes of it. And now with 6 minutes to go in the half, it remains KP 2, Milford 1. Lacerbo dumping this ball back in. Lexi Antonio pushes it along. Now here's Kira Murphy. Gathers back in, trying to find Turtelot with the pass. And back across the middle now as KP is able to push this ahead. Lacerbo stays close with Quinton. And now drops back as this ball comes down to the near corner. And Isabella Lacerbo, so great to see her back out there, and still excellent defense, as if the injury never happened. Still just as explosive, and always great instincts on defense as well. Corner kick here for the Warriors with less than 5 minutes to go in the half. And this ball takes a deflection out. KP can send it back in deep, and now both teams having trouble reading it. This ball comes in, and it's a score as Milford just could not get that ball out of harm's way. And so again, a bit of a breakdown right in front of the net for Milford, and KP now able to extend the lead to 3-0. Initially, Milford was able to clear it out. KP sends it back into the box, and then no one able to clear it out from there, and instead it is a goal once again for Donnell Balunos. So she has 2 in this first half, scoring this one with 4 minutes and 39 seconds to go. So Milford with such a promising start to this half, but KP has been able to maximize chances, and unfortunately Milford has just been a little bit loose in front of their own net at times in this half, and each time KP has capitalized. And really all three goals for KP. The first was on a quick toss in that caught Milford flat-footed, creating an opportunity right in front of the Milford net. Then it was Chloe Murdoch unable to secure her save chance, allowing a rebound out. And then the second chance produced the second goal of the game for Ava Quinton. And then another situation there with after the corner kick, Milford just could not get the clear. A couple of tricky bounces, and KP again able to strike to give themselves now a 2-goal lead with less than 3 minutes to play in the half. Hawks would love to figure something out here late to give themselves a little bit of a jolt going into the half. As this ball gets cleared out, and a one-on-one foot race up the field, and it is Juliana Senna who is able to win that battle, sends the ball out of play, and now again, very quick toss back in for the Warriors, but this time Milford was ready for it. As now a couple of players take a tumble, whistle comes in, and this will give KP a free kick. And a troubling spot on the field. And again, huge credit to Juliana Senna. Again, her first game back after a foot injury, still with great speed. Ava Quinton, who has a goal in this game, taking the free kick and sends this ball in low, and it's smothered by Murdoch. Lefter deflects this ball, and then Quinton trying to get a jump start, but that ball is pushed out on the near sideline. Milford with the chance to toss it back in. Nifty little bicycle kick from Caitlin Kernan, and now it's Baglione who pops this ball high in the air. Murphy trying to settle it. KP gets there first. And now moved along with the header by Lacerbo. Baglione again with a pop-up over towards the near sideline. Baglione, I beg your pardon, Caitlin Kernan in on the play as she got tangled up with Ava Quinton. And not a very definitive whistle there, but it seems as though that was the end of the half. So a little bit of confusion there right at the end. That was a quick final 2 minutes, but we will head to halftime with the score 3-1. So again, Milford came out with a lot of great energy, but KP with such a steady, experienced program able to right the ship, and now they find themselves ahead by 2 as we reach the half. So again, if you're joining us on the live coverage, you can hang tight. Less than 10 minutes on the clock for this halftime, and then we'll be back with second half action. It all comes to you live from our Rentschler Biopharma broadcast booth. Again, 3-1 KP on top of Milford as we bring you this presentation of Milford High School varsity girls soccer here on Milford TV, presented by the Rail Trail Flatbread Company.
Interested in bringing your ideas to life? Here at Milford TV, we give you the opportunity and resources you need to turn your content into reality. We offer memberships with access to equipment and use of our in-studio setup to allow you to get your message across in a professional manner. Or if you simply have the desire to gain hands-on experience in the field of digital media, you can become a volunteer at Milford TV, where we teach essential skills and tools that allow our members to create and tell their stories. From studio interviews, to sports coverage, to field shows, we provide the community the chance to stay informed and get involved. If you're a local company looking for an opportunity to promote your business, consider becoming a sponsor of Milford TV. We offer several sponsorship options for local business visibility during our sports broadcast as well as other areas. Whether you hope to inspire others, highlight issues you're passionate about, or would like to learn more and participate in the production process, Milford TV is the perfect place to start. Call or visit us at milfordtv.net for information on how to become a member or volunteer, and see why now is the time to join the Milford TV family. Come on over so you can be part of the action. Interested in bringing your ideas to life? Here at Milford TV, we give you the opportunity and resources you need to turn your content into reality. We offer memberships with access to equipment and use of our in-studio setup to allow you to get your message across in a professional manner. Or if you simply have the desire to gain hands-on experience in the field of digital media, you can become a volunteer at Milford TV, where we teach essential skills and tools that allow our members to create and tell their stories. From studio interviews, to sports coverage, to field shows, we provide the community the chance to stay informed and get involved. If you're a local company looking for an opportunity to promote your business, consider becoming a sponsor of Milford TV. We offer several sponsorship options for local business visibility during our sports broadcast as well as other areas. Whether you hope to inspire others, highlight issues you're passionate about, or would like to learn more and participate in the production process, Milford TV is the perfect place to start. Call or visit us at milfordtv.net for information on how to become a member or volunteer, and see why now is the time to join the Milford TV family. Come on over so you can be part of the action. Interested in bringing your ideas to life? Here at Milford TV, we give you the opportunity and resources you need to turn your content into reality. We offer memberships with access to equipment and use of our in-studio setup to allow you to get your message across in a professional manner. Or if you simply have the desire to gain hands-on experience in the field of digital media, you can become a volunteer at Milford TV, where we teach essential skills and tools that allow our members to create and tell their stories. From studio interviews, to sports coverage, to field shows, we provide the community the chance to stay informed and get involved. If you're a local company looking for an opportunity to promote your business, consider becoming a sponsor of Milford TV. We offer several sponsorship options for local business visibility during our sports broadcast as well as other areas. Whether you hope to inspire others, highlight issues you're passionate about, or would like to learn more and participate in the production process, Milford TV is the perfect place to start. Call or visit us at milfordtv.net for information on how to become a member or volunteer, and see why now is the time to join the Milford TV family. Come on over so you can be part of the action.
Anybody that came in with the shirt, like, you I wasn't lying to you. I mean, I was.
Interested in bringing your ideas to life? Here at Milford TV, we give you the opportunity and resources you need to turn your content into reality. We offer memberships with access to equipment and use of our in-studio setup to allow you to get your message across in a professional manner. Or if you simply have the desire to gain hands-on experience in the field of digital media, you can become a volunteer at Milford TV, where we teach essential skills and tools that allow our members to create and tell their stories. From studio interviews, to sports coverage, to field shows, we provide the community the chance to stay informed and get involved. If you're a local company looking for an opportunity to promote your business, consider becoming a sponsor of Milford TV. We offer several sponsorship options for local business visibility during our sports broadcast as well as other areas. Whether you hope to inspire others, highlight issues you're passionate about, or would like to learn more and participate in the
Coverage of Scarlet Hawks athletics here on Milford TV is brought to you in part by Unibank. Big bank know-how, community bank attitude. Serving the Milford community at their local branch over on Prospect Street, right inside the Shaw's Plaza. Coverage is also brought to you in part by Rentschler Biopharma, proud sponsor of our broadcast booth. At their Milford site, Rentschler Biopharma offers full-service solutions along the entire biopharmaceutical value chain for large-scale clinical and commercial CGMP manufacturing. And coverage of Scarlet Hawks athletics on Milford TV is presented by the Rail Trail Flatbread Company. Milford TV Executive Director Tim Coet back with you now as we resume for second half action in this varsity girls soccer matchup between the Milford Scarlet Hawks and the visiting King Philip Warriors. KP with a 3-1 lead as this second half begins. Kaylee Turtelot opened up the scoring about 7 minutes in to give Milford the lead, but KP able to take control as the half went on. 2 goals for Danelle Balunos, 1 for the sophomore Ava Quinton. And so Milford with work to do here in the second half as they look to attack from right to left now across your screens in the second half action. Starting off an all-soccer week here on Milford TV. We'll have this girls team again later on in the week. We're hopeful to have the boys soccer team in action on Wednesday, weather permitting. We know there's supposed to be some rain coming through the area early in the day on Wednesday, but we're hoping that conditions will be conducive to that boys soccer game, as it's a big one coming up on Wednesday as the boys are set to host the Franklin Panthers. And then we will be back in action with this girls soccer team again later on this week, as they will host the Oliver Ames Tigers on Friday. For this girls team, in what is being affectionately referred to as Hell Week for the girls, that starts off here today with this matchup against King Philip. They'll be on the road on Wednesday to take on their Franklin counterparts, then back here on Friday for that matchup against Oliver Ames that we'll have covered on Milford TV, and then on Saturday they will make the trek out to Martha's Vineyard for a non-conference game on Saturday afternoon. So 4 games in total this week for this Milford girls team, as that ball gets blasted out of play over the fencing and off into the trees. Toss in here deep on the attacking side for the Warriors. And turned around but sent wide to the far post. Milford and King Philip once again not only Hockomock League rivals, but also rivals within the same division for postseason competition, as KP has moved down to Division II for this year. As KP tracks this ball towards the far corner, Taliaseri trying to stay with it. This shot comes in towards net, and Chloe Murdoch is able to make the stop. The latest power rankings, as we mentioned, in the first half, Milford finds themselves right now in the number 29 spot in those power rankings, which puts them within a playoff position. KP coming into this week right now 5th in those Division II power rankings, as KP is able to take this ball in all alone and send over the crossbar, and Milford avoids disaster there, as that was a big time breakdown. Ella McDonald had only Chloe Murdoch to beat, tried to elevate that shot but sent it up all over the crossbar, and Milford very fortunate there. So KP, who really controlled a lot of the action after the Milford goal in the first half, coming out strong so far here in the second. Taliaseri dumps this ball towards Ava Baglione, now Nashawati, a little self-pass, and has her pocket picked from behind, but Anella Lefter is there. Tries to curl this ball around to the far side of the field. Lefter down on the turf as this ball gets sprayed wide to the far side of the KP goal and out of play. No whistle on the contact with Lefter. Kira Murphy dumps this ball in deep. Turtelot trying to race over, and KP sends that one out of play. It's pulled down by assistant coach Bill Wallace. And Turtelot now will toss back in, trying to slice this ball over towards Anella Lefter. KP is able to push it back out towards the center of the field. And now here is Ava Quinton. Great control, great footwork, finds McDonald with the pass. And meanwhile, Lacerbo loses her footing. Another shot wide open by McDonald, and she elevates this one too much again over the near corner of the net and out of play. Some contact there between McDonald and Lacerbo that left Isabella down on the turf. Looked like a little bit of a shove, but again, no whistle. McDonald right back into the play here. She'll fire in on net again, and it is handled by Chloe Murdoch. And right now, Ella McDonald has absolutely seized control of this game. Milford allowing her way too much space. Three very good scoring chances. Unfortunately, two of them just elevated over the net. That one saved by Murdoch, but Milford struggling here defensively early on in the second half, as now Kernan wrestles the KP player down to the turf. Kernan, as usual, on the edge. She's gotten a couple of whistles in this game. Looked like she might be bordering on a yellow card right at the end of the first half. But fortunately, the half came to an end before that could transpire. Now Nashawati, not enough on that pass to find Turtelot. A little shove from Kyla, but KP with a couple of crisp passes, and now trying to hit McDonald again as she was perched along the near sideline. She keeps this ball in play in the near corner, and now trying to get around Talia Seri. Lacerbo is over there as well. Again, Lacerbo a little unsure on her feet. Lacerbo and Juliana Senna both trying to get back up to game speed. You wonder if, as this game gets on, if conditioning will be a factor at all for two players coming back, especially from lower body injuries. So not necessarily able to keep up with conditioning in those kind of situations, as Chloe Murdoch knocking that ball down to the turf initially, but then able to fight through a crowd to make the full stop. Murdoch, another good game. Again, allowed a rebound out for one of those first half goals, but the other two really breakdowns defensively. Not a lot that Murdoch could have done for either of those other two scores. Coming up on 10 minutes into the second half, as again KP is able to dump this ball back down deep, and again into the hands of Chloe Murdoch. Milford needing an energy jolt. That ball out of the reach of Antonio. She gets another chance here. She'll send it along the far sideline. Caitlin Kernan is there. She accelerates and tumbles down as that ball goes out of play as KP pushed it out. And Caitlin will toss it back in. Goes the short route back to Lefter, and now Kernan sending that ball just out wide to the far side of the net. And so again, nothing developing there offensively for Milford as they look a little frustrated out on the field. And now in deep here, trouble forming as Chloe Murdoch was able to stand tall there. The ball deflects out over on the far side. And it'll be King Philip who will have the chance to toss back in. And so another play developing quickly. This ball taking a roll all the way up the middle of the field for another chance for Ava Quinton. And Murdoch able to keep good positioning to deny an easy look. As KP is finally ready now for the toss-in. 28-15 on the second half clock. And again, Milford struggling to clear this ball out, but fortunately it takes a soft roll back in the direction of the Milford keeper. Lefter working hard on that far side, beg your pardon, that far sideline. Get some help from Emma Howie. This toss back in goes right to KP. Takes a hack at it and sends it back out. And now this one dumped in for another check-in on Murdoch. He's there to make the stop. The Milford goal area now just about completely in shadow. Just one strip of sunshine around the 10-yard line. But from the center logo over towards the KP goal, still mostly in sunshine. Always get a different look here as it gets later in the day in these October games with the sun setting earlier. Milford continuing to be pinned back on their defensive side of the field. Here is Lefter. Finds Turtelot. And this ball in the direction of Murphy and now pushed down the field by Juliana Senna. Nashawati and Kaylee Turtelot crossing each other there as that ball came in. Neither could really settle it down, and so here comes the Warriors once again. Murphy interjecting. And now this ball will come through. And an offsides call against Quinton. Free kick for Milford comes just outside the center circle. But it's still KP in full control here. Easy passing for King Philip. They've been looking supremely confident in the second half so far. No scoring in the second half yet, but all of the chances have come for the Warriors offensively. This ball won by Lefter over the middle. Sends it over towards the near side for Turtelot. A very soft pass that cannot be handled by Nashawati. Turtelot stays with it. This ball comes through, but the defense there to clear it out. Murphy trying to protect along the near sideline. This ball comes all the way back to Senna. Let go by Turtelot. This will roll down towards the near corner. An out of play just shy of the flag. Continues to be a 2-goal lead for the Warriors. That was where we were going into the half. That's where we are now with just about 24 minutes to play. As Murphy battles alongside Claire Astorino. Milford will get the toss in. On a play again. And this time they award the toss in to the Warriors. McDonald able to get around Senna. She gets around Murphy and now feeds this ball up ahead towards Ava Quinton. Seri able to stay out in front long enough for reinforcements to arrive. A nice job there by Talia Seri. Looking more like a defenseman in hockey, going backwards but keeping good positioning. Quinn with this ball, but it's stolen away by Kira Murphy. A slide tackle by Astorino as that ball went out of play. And Milford will toss it in. And Baglione gets tripped up hard from behind. And a quick vacate for Donnell Bolunos, who has 2 of the 3 KP goals. Gets whistled for that contact. Baglione unfazed as she gets back to her feet and now delivers the free kick right into the teeth of the KP defense. Cleared out back towards the middle of the field where Lacerbo will dump back inside the box. Nashawati crashing the net, but Milford can't get this ball settled down. Lefter now going after it. Anella over towards the corner. And KP will drive this ball out of play. Alexi Antonio returning to the field for Milford. Substitutions on the KP side as well, as the goal scorer Ava Quinton will get a rest on the sideline. Tossing for Milford, just out of the reach of Kyla Nashawati, and it'll be a goal kick here for the Warriors, which will take us down close to the midway point in this second half. Back to the defense, and Seri tries to get this started. Moved along by the KP defense and then angled into the hands of Lauren O'Bara. Let up 1 goal early, but has been solid ever since. Here's KP now with bodies in front of the net. Senna trying to clear this ball out. Still in trouble. And finally able to angle it towards the corner for Caitlin Kernan, who gets this ball at least out towards the far sideline. Dumped right back in now and onto the foot of Ella McDonald as Seri stays close. Lacerbo there in support. And now this ball sent in hard. Knocked down and held onto by Murdoch. Toss in here for Turtelot. As Ava Baglione got a little bit of a shove in the back, not enough to draw the whistle. Senna sends this ball over the middle. Nashawati left her a little touch pass to get it back to Kyla, and could not be played from there. Up ahead now again for McDonald. And this time, Juliana Senna able to stay close. Several members of the Milford boys soccer team over on the sideline watching this girls varsity match unfold. The boys have been in the midst of a long layoff between games. We covered their last game, which was on Tuesday of last week. Here at home against Mansfield, it was a scoreless draw. And they will not play again until Wednesday of this week. So an entire week off in the middle of the season for this boys team, heading into a critical division matchup against Franklin on Wednesday. Again, we will have that game covered for you live across all of our Milford TV platforms, so you can tune into Milford boys soccer taking on Franklin on Wednesday at 4 p.m. And so we'll see if the rest gives Milford an extra spring in their step as they take on a big rival. Boys soccer team 3 points behind Franklin right now in the Kelly Rex Division standings, so that game is a big one. Here's Anilla Lefter, able to pick up this ball, has speed over the middle. Carries over towards the far sideline where it gets knocked out of play. And Lefter will waste no time tossing back in to Kernan. And now pushed to the corner on the header by Nashawati. Lefter battling. And she tosses back in again here, looking for Kernan. And Milford now will have the corner kick. Just about 17 minutes remaining in this game. Milford trying to claw their way back into it. Lefter shielding her eyes from the sun as she sends this ball over towards the far post, and that looked to be shoveled out of play one-handed by Obara. And so Milford now will have the corner kick from the near side. Ava Baglione will take this kick. Keeps it low. And it's Lefter who will hoist it back in, but wide to the near sideline. Stays on the field for Ava Baglione, and she comes together. Looks like number 5 for KP. That's Emma Weiblin. And whistle going against Ava. And so a couple of corner kick chances there for Milford, but nothing materializes, and we continue to be locked in a 3-1 score. Nashawati keeps this ball in, but then KP able to steal it back. Now here's Ava. The ball out of her reach. And Nashawati now a little too cautious on that pass towards Ava. Gets picked off, and now here comes the Warriors on the attack. Serbo able to find Caitlin Kernan with the pass. Kernan with 2 defenders draped around. That ball ends up out of play. Caitlin will toss it back in with just about 15 minutes to play now. Lefter with a ball over towards Kaylee Turtelot that took a very athletic play to keep from going out. Kira Murphy stepping into the action. Dumped back in by Ann Antonio. Now Turtelot. Nashawati stepping in, but KP able to get the clear all the way back to Talia Seri on the defensive end, and she sends it over towards the far sideline, and KP will let that take a hop out of play. Substitution here on the KP side before we continue. Just over 14 minutes now remaining. I'll just give you a very quick look at our remaining broadcast schedule here in the month of October. Again, in the midst of this all-soccer week here this week, with that boys game against Franklin on Wednesday, girls against Oliver Ames on Friday, and then just a handful of games remain after that, including our final girls volleyball games against Attleboro and Taunton. boys soccer against Taunton, and then we finish out the season with the football team taking on the Franklin Panthers just before Halloween. As meanwhile, KP will have an opportunity here deep on their attacking side after they sent one in quickly on Chloe Murdoch. She was able to deflect it with the hands out of play, setting up another corner kick chance here for the Warriors. Looking to tack on to the lead, and that is exactly what they do off of the corner. Able to bend that one in for the fourth goal of the day. And Ava Quinton continues to be a nightmare for Milford in this game. I'm not sure if perhaps Chase Bright maybe got the redirect right at the net there, or if that went all the way in on the kick by Quinton. We'll put it on the score sheet for Quinton right now. So her second goal of the game, this one coming with 13:07 to play. This forces Coach Colabello to take the timeout, as it's been 4 unanswered goals now as this game has gone along for the Warriors. And we've seen Milford with some resilient efforts after falling behind this season, but not a lot of time left at this point. Just 13:07 remains on the clock. Now a 3-goal deficit. And as you start to think about protecting your place in the power rankings as the season goes on, you don't want to allow this game to get beyond a 3-goal deficit. As we look at the schedule moving forward for the Scarlet Hawks after this game today, we've already talked about it. They'll be on the road at Franklin on Wednesday. They'll be back home on Friday against OA, and then over the weekend at Martha's Vineyard. That will begin a 3-game road swing for Milford. They'll be at Martha's Vineyard on the 11th, at Taunton on the 15th, and at Foxborough on the 17th. So after that game on Friday, Milford will not be home again until they host Uxbridge on October 20th. So that'll be a full 10 days away from their home field. As Ava is able to pick up this ball, but KP handles it with ease. And now back to Ava Quinton. The defense closes in. So anyone across the Hockomock League hoping that perhaps KP was going to go into an extended rebuild after losing so much talent from last year's Division I quarterfinalist team. Seeing the performance of this squad today, and in particular Ava Quinton, only a sophomore, who has really been the centerpiece in this offense today, lets you know that this program has all it needs to immediately reload and be ready again to be a top playoff contender. As this ball comes in from long range from Astorino, it's held on to by Chloe Murdoch. Down to 11 minutes and 40 seconds to go in this second half. Milford's been able to hang in there in most of their games this season, outside of their home game against the Sharon Eagles, which was their second game of the season, when they had already lost Juliana Senna due to injury, and they lost Isabella Lacerbo to injury in that game. That one got away from Milford, a 6-2 final score. But since then, every game that Milford has played has been a 2 goals or fewer margin in the games that they've lost. So they have been in just about every single contest. But right now, facing a 3-goal deficit as we tick down to the final 10 minutes of the second half. And Antonio pushes this ball through to Nashawati. Now it's Ava Baglione. And tried to aggressively deliver that ball in towards the net, and instead it took a hop wide to the near side. You like the sense of urgency there, but unfortunately Baglione just couldn't set herself for a quality look on net. A low line drive kick takes a hop over towards Kaylee Turtelot. A couple of players come together. It's enough to draw a whistle that goes against the Scarlet Hawks. Avery Hebert, another one of the freshmen on this varsity roster, taking the free kick. And now in towards the box, picked up by Chloe, just ahead of Ava Quinton, who gave a little bit of a flyby to Chloe Murdoch after she had picked up that loose ball. Here comes Ella McDonald. She's able to get a step on Seri. Now sends this ball across the goal mouth, and it takes a hop off of the far post and in. A very fortuitous ricochet there off of the far post, and so Ella McDonald, who has had so many chances in the second half, she finally finds the back of the net here, and that gives KP a 5-1 lead with just over 9 minutes remaining. And so the rout is on now here on the turf field. So the first goal of the day for Ella McDonald to join the other KP goal scorers, Donnell Balunos, who has 2, Ava Quinton, who has 2. As now Baglione sends this ball up the middle. It's on target to Kaylee Turtelot, trying to send one towards the far post for Caitlin Kernan. And Kernan with plenty of height, but that ball just out of her reach. Kaylee Turtelot scoring her first goal of the season all the way back in minute 7 in the first half. That at the time gave Milford a 1-0 lead, but the complexion of this match has changed quite a bit since then. And now with just about 8 minutes to go, KP with another lopsided margin on the scoreboard, something that Milford has seen far too often in these head-to-head meetings against the Warriors. We tracked the head-to-head meetings between these two schools only back to the year 2000. That was more than enough of a sample size. As here comes McDonald again. She fires this one in. It curves wide to the far side. But during that stretch of time, 10 head-to-head meetings between these two teams who have been division opponents through most of that period of time. All wins for KP, so Milford 0-10 head-to-head against KP since 2020. But even more than that has been the very lopsided goal differential. 59 goals scored in that span of time for King Philip, only 8 for Milford. So KP with another 5 goals on the board today. So that margin now 64-9. The goal differential between these two schools. So it has just been a dominant performance for King Philip against Milford historically, and it continues here on the Milford turf this afternoon. Time winding down here in the second half, and Milford will have to put the frustration of this loss to bed quickly, as they have a lot more work to do as this week goes along. Left her with no room along that far sideline. KP now bringing some of their starters to the sideline. Quinton and McDonald both getting a rest. Ticking down to the final 5.5 minutes now, as it looked to be Bolunos for KP. Getting knocked to the turf. Another whistle in KP's favor. Almost the entire field in shadows at this point as we get past 5:30. More hard contact with Kaylee Turtelot trying to clear that ball out. It goes out on the near sideline, and Turtelot will have the chance to toss back in, looking for Caitlin McKenzie along the near sideline. Nashawati there as well as the ball goes out of play. As always, October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and no doubt that is the meaning behind the bright pink gear for all of these KP players. And despite a lot of bench personnel out there now for KP, still effective as ever. And meanwhile, also a change in net for Milford. Chloe Murdoch on the sidelines now, and it's Ashlyn Evans, the sophomore, with a chance to log some time here as this game comes down to the final stretch. Looked like the gesture from the official down at field level. About 3 minutes to go. The clock frozen. Certainly disappointment for Milford here this afternoon. I think there was a lot of optimism coming into this game that with the change in personnel for KP this season, that this would be a competitive game. It certainly looked to be a competitive game in the first half, even when KP took the lead. Milford challenging well, but as the second half went on, KP continuing to build separation, and you could see the confidence level drop for Milford as we got deeper and deeper into the second half. Nashawati moving this ball along, and out of play. Sari will toss it down towards the corner, looking for Nashawati. More contact. And KP has at times done a better job than Milford of selling the contact to draw the whistles. Not quite as dramatically as we tend to see in the boys' games. Certainly as Milford continues into the real teeth of the second half of the season, happy to have their defense back at full strength. And you know, as Senna and Lacerbo continue to log timeout on the field, they'll be able to get back into a groove, get back up to game speed, and happy to see this team healthy towards the end of the season, as they've really been hit hard with injuries right out of the gates, been able to keep themselves within playoff positioning. Tossing here at the feet of Kyla Nashawati, who cannot escape the double team, and this ball will go out. And so hard to tell. The whistles have been a little bit strange in this game. Not quite sure if they were signaling the end of the game there, but not quite yet. Kyla Nashawati will sub out here in these closing moments as Obara delivers a goal kick. And there is the definitive final whistle of the afternoon. So Milford, unfortunately, with a difficult loss here today, they fall to the King Philip Warriors by a final score of 5-1. Again, KP just continued to gain confidence as this match went along. And Milford could get very little accomplished on their offensive side of the field, especially in the second half. So with the defeat, Milford will fall to 3-6-0 on the season. KP with the win will improve to 5-2-3, continuing to threaten at the top of the Kelly Rex division standing. So as we mentioned, still a lot of soccer action coming up here on Milford TV as the week goes on. We hope you will join us on Wednesday for boys soccer action in a critical Kelly Rex division showdown between the Scarlet Hawks and the visiting Franklin Panthers. And then we'll have more coverage of this girls soccer team to round out the week as they will be back at home on Friday to take on the Oliver Ames Tigers. And again, you can catch all of those games locally live on our educational channel, on our Verizon High Definition channel, and you can stream all of our coverage live on our YouTube channel. All of the games are available for replay on YouTube as soon as the games end. So if you've missed any of our fall sports action so far on the season, just head over to our YouTube channel. Make sure you become a subscriber, and you can check out all of that great content. But that is going to wrap things up here for this afternoon. A big thank you to Patrick Garapi manning the cameras. And I am Tim Coette as we bring you the coverage live from our Rentschler Biopharma broadcast booth. That final score, one final time, 5-1. King Philip defeats Milford. This has been a presentation of Scarlet Hawks Athletics here on Milford TV, presented by the Rail Trail Flatbread Company. So long, everybody.